First of all, how should I pronounce your name? The stress, Clemen?
Clemen.
Clemen. Okay, nice to meet
yeah,
you.
that's
I am Yelena. My name,
nice
I think, my name, I think, is more usual for you. Yes.
Yeah. I know some, Elena. So
yeah, so this is more international. Well, so first of all, thank you very much for your readiness to help and to tell about your country, because that is really great. And you know, I really like speaking to people who are from countries which are not so, let's say, pop countries, touristy countries, because I have, for example, visited Serbia once, and I fell in love with this country exactly due to the fact that there are not so many tourists as when you come, for example, to Italy or to France, you know, because you really can feel the country. Okay?
It's true. Yeah.
So, I see the guitar. Do you play the guitar?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's my guitar.
Okay,
yeah.
I see it this way. Okay, good. So, my first question to you. Where are you from?
I'm from Slovenia, so we pronounce it Slovenia. It's frequently mixed with Slovakia abroad, yeah. Because we also have, even our flag is similar. I can show you.
Okay.
Actually have a collection of flags. I just
you collect the flag.
Yeah. So this is,
you know, and it looks very much like Russian flag also.
Yeah, it's like Russian flag, but just without the coat of arms, right?
Yes. The Russian flag doesn't have anything else besides the three lines, the three color lines.
Yeah, so this is our flag, flag of Slovenia, highest mountain. One line represents rivers, one line represents the sea, and these three stars are from this kind of family from this town Celje. Anyway.
Okay. And what is the capital? What is the capital of Slovenia?
The capital is called Ljubljana.
Ljubljana.
Which is kind of, I think only Balkan people know how to pronounce it correctly, because it's. Or maybe can you pronounce it? Maybe try to pronounce it.
Ljubljana.
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 Ljubljana. Because in Russian we say Ljubljana, because we have you in Russian, you know, and that is why we say Ljubljana, but you say Ljubljana. Okay.
Ljubljana, and I think a lot of foreign people have a little bit of problem, but I never am so kind of picky about it, you know. I always, when they say Ljubljana or Ljubljana or something, I just, that's okay. Whatever.
You know, what is Slovenia famous for?
What is Slovenia famous for? All right. So in terms of attractions or places to visit, I would say the most famous one is Bled. Bled is a small town, but it's also a lake, which is very famous. So it's Bled because it's really famous for it's a lake and the island in the middle of it. And it's really beautiful. You can just walk around it. It's around 1.5 hour walk, but it can get really, really crowded, especially in summer. So that's why I think it's really beautiful, but it's not on my top list of attractions in Slovenia, just because it's so touristy. I mean, I usually go in spring or autumn, because in summer it's just crazy for parking, for people. So just, but it's really beautiful. So I recommend it. Also, there's this seaside region, and the town is called Piran. Piran is like a small town. I think it's my favorite town to visit, and it's kind of Italian style. You can chill there. It's really nice, but also again in summer it's a little bit more crowded than in other months. Then I would say there is a lot to see in Ljubljana. And in Ljubljana you can find some tourist attractions, but I would say top of my list is the castle, to go to the castle, to see Ljubljana all around. And Dragon Bridge is one of my favorite because it's so unique. So Green Dragon is a symbol of Ljubljana, and this dragon from the Dragon Bridge is used as a symbol of it. So I think that's a good attraction. But then there's like the Prešeren Square, So this is the, what we say, center of Ljubljana, where we usually, meet, and there, it's a meeting spot. It's a good place to start a tour, for example, in Ljubljana. So Prešeren Square, and there's this statue of this guy, which is our most famous poet, France Prešeren, and he also wrote the lyrics for our national anthem. So yeah.
Yeah,
I
he's
mean,
really a great guy.
yeah. In terms of attractions, okay, but I would say what the country is famous for is for wine, for example. I would say, yeah, we are a small country, but you can find so many varieties of wine, and a lot of people make it. So yeah, if you're a wine lover, definitely come here.
What do you know about my country, about Moldova?
Moldova, I knew the capital because we learned it in school. But I don't actually know anything else about it except that you were in Soviet Union before,
Yeah.
and that I could point it on the map.
I just ask you now because winemaking is our main industry. So we are also a very small country, but winemaking is the most important industry.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is why. Wow.
Nice.
Slovenia
I didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't know the same about your country. So I invite you to Moldova, especially in autumn. So this is the best time to come to Moldova. It's not so hot as in summer, but you can taste young wine.
Okay,
and I believe one beautiful day I will come to Slovenia to taste your wine.
Of course. I don't know if it's famous for, but I don't think a lot of people know that Slovenia, in such a small area, you can actually find kind of different landscape regions. So you have seaside region, you have the Alps. So one day you can actually go hiking in like high mountains, and the same day you can swim in the sea. Or there's like plain on the east and hills on the south. So I would say this is kind of a speciality that there's a lot of things together.
So what is your favorite place in the capital? Other place you have already mentioned? Or any others?
No, I didn't. I mean, okay, yes, I mentioned the castle. I always recommend to go to the top of the castle tower. I think you must pay a little bit, but it's not so expensive. I would say it's definitely worth it. But if you're on the budget, on like a tight budget, you can still see Ljubljana from the castle without going to the top. But on the top, there is like really nice place, and you can see in all directions. Especially if you have a local with you, they can show you around what is where, and I think it's very interesting.
To have a local is the best way to travel around. Yeah.
But I would say the part that it's very, it's kind of really cozy and nice. It's Trnovo. Trnovo is a part that is actually, it sticks to the center. You know, it's actually on the border that you say, okay, this is not center of Ljubljana anymore. You just go over a bridge and there you are. So it's 5-minute walking distance from, 10-minute walking distance from the city center. And it's really nice by the river. There's this kind of stairs to chill out, and also there is this really small kind of stream that goes into the river, into the Ljubljanica river, the main river. And by this stream, there are kind of some cozy bars and restaurants. So, and it's not touristic.
That is good news.
Yeah, there are actually, I think there are quite some hostels, or hostels mostly there. So I think people might encounter this part of Ljubljana by staying there because it's really close. But not a lot of tourists go there. It's just because it's there the center ends, and I think people just say, oh, there's nothing there to see. But I think if you have time to chill out a little bit, there are like willow trees over there, and you can just sit under them and it's also a romantic spot for a date. If there are some ideas to for someone to take someone on a date, so that's okay.
Okay. I think that should really be an in place for those who come to see not only something from pictures about Ljubljana, but also to feel the city and the country. What is your favorite place in the country? Thank you.
In the my favorite place is Lake Bohinj. It's actually 20-minute drive from the famous Lake Bled. I would say Bohinj is also known, but I think much less people go there because they stop at Bled and they say, okay, yeah, that's the most touristic part. But if you go just 20 minutes with the car, or also there's a bus driving there, there's a bigger lake, much cleaner lake, so you can actually swim in it, especially in the summer months. That's really good. Also, you can go around it or hike on some hills around it, and I think it's even more beautiful than Bled. Not because I said Bled is too touristic, but actually I think it's more natural. I don't know, I just like it more. So Bohinj Lake is my favorite place. And I always take, if there's my foreign friends that come to Slovenia, I always take them to Bled, and then I say, oh, there's something more, and I take them to Bohinj.
When they are impressed so much, and you say that is not the final
plan.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. So this is a really nice place. If you love nature, that's the place to go.
Which not tourist famous place would you recommend to visit? Or probably this is not tourist, but you would like to share this place with others.
Okay, so the thing is, I thought about which places are kind of not tourist, and I kind of made the list of, let's say, 4 things which go from the most touristic to the less.
Okay.
So one is, I would say, Socha Valley. So Socha is a river. It's a very clean river. I think it's also the cleanest river in Europe, or at least in Western Europe. So this valley, it is touristic, I would say, but because it's not so easily accessible, and if people come for a week, they usually go to see Bled, Ljubljana, Piran. But if people stay more, they usually also go to this valley where you can experience like rafting, canyoning, zip line, hiking in general. So I would say this is one of the most beautiful parts of Slovenia, which not all people visit just because of the time restraint. Yeah. So if you come for a week, usually you have 2 days for Ljubljana, 1 day for this, 1 day for that, maybe something else. So yeah, Socha Valley, but it's still touristic. So I would move on to the next one. It's in Ljubljana. There's this part called Metelkova. And it's kind of a center of alternative culture. I would recommend it to go during the day because there is a lot of artwork, but not just graffiti, a lot of everything. And it's really interesting to see. But also, I mean, I think some people know about it, but my foreign friends that I took them there, it was mostly a surprise for them. So it's when people visit Ljubljana, I would say stop there. It's kind of a 10 or 15 minutes, depends on how many pictures you take. So Metelkova, this is a really good place to visit. But also east is very much beautiful, especially southeast region. So Dolenska region, we say. It's famous for wine, also for the hills. And if people like to, do some wine tasting or just I think there are like some tourist farms, what I don't know if you know what I mean.
Yeah, we have something like the same in Moldova.
Okay, then you know. So you can experience that, and even if you go more southeast to the border with Croatia, there's this smaller region. It's called Bela Krajina. Bela Krajina literally means white region or something.
Yeah, white place. In Russian, it is like Белый край. So,
yeah.
Yeah, it sounds very much like in Russian.
exactly. So Bela Crkva, I was actually last week I was there, and it's really, really beautiful, like a landscape, scenery. Also, there's a river, you can swim in it, and people there are really, really, really extra friendly. So I would say, this is the region to visit. And there is also like an interesting thing. I'm biologist by profession, and there in this region they found the um, human fish. If you maybe know this, there's this human fish. It's a kind of amphibian animal.
Okay.
Yeah, and they found it. It's a cave animal. They found it in all Balkan region, but only in this place, in this region, they found the black version of it. So I don't know. Maybe if there are some biologists or people that are enthusiastic about these things,
One more
also...
attraction, one more reason to visit Slovenia. Yes.
Yeah, so I would say this region is also, and also of course wine is really good there. So
what would you recommend to eat in your country?
okay, so I would say our national food, it's a lot like, I would say, German. So in this kind of Central Europe region, Austrian, German influence. So we have a lot of like sausages, different sausages and things with potatoes. So I would say the Slovenian cuisine itself, it's not something like really high cuisine or something, but it's good, caloric, especially. Prekmurska gibanica. So it's like literally translated Prekmurje moving cake. It's kind of a sweet dish. It has walnuts, apples, actually poppy seeds. You wouldn't know, but that actually goes well with it. So it's, and then sugar on top, and it's like you just you can Google it. Prekmurska gibanica. It's an interesting thing too, because at first you would say that it doesn't look good, but it's really good actually. In Slovenia to try is Balkan cuisine. You said you were in Serbia, and I think Balkan cuisine itself, so like Serbian, Bosnian cuisine,
it's
is one of the best.
Great.
It's so tasty, great, and cheap also. And I would say definitely try some Balkan cuisine if you don't go further down, further to south. But if you go, it's better there. But you can also find good places here. And I can recommend some restaurants maybe. So I actually don't eat out a lot, but I was recommended this restaurant called Julia. It's in city. It's in the old town of Ljubljana, and you can try their Slovenian dishes. Yeah. So like also žganci. There is this dish. This is also good. So yeah, there you can find Slovenian authentic dishes. And just across the small street, there is Cafe Romeo. You know, so there's like Julia and Romeo, you know. And in this cafe, you can find very good pancakes. So pancakes with a lot of filling, and and they're really
toppings.
Big. Toppings. And so it's also a good date spot because it's a kind of cozy place. So just across the Julia. I would also recommend my favorite burger place. It's called Hood Burger. So Hood, like in like neighborhood, so Hood, Hood burger. They have really tasty burgers. Also, you can find it in center and 2 other places in Ljubljana. Also, there is this thing just by the marketplace. It's called Moji štrukli Slovenije. So štrukli are also Slovenian dish. I would say that it's like a cottage cheese inside a dough and cooked on steam. So it's kind of it tastes like dumplings, but they're not dumplings, So
something special, local.
Yeah, I mean, it's similar to, for example, I was in Ukraine eating vareniki.
Vareniki,
Yeah.
In Ukraine, in Russia, yes.
Yeah. So I would say it's in a taste, it's similar if you took the ones with cottage cheese. But this Moji štrukli Slovenia, this is a kind of it's not a restaurant, but you can eat there. You know, it's like, it's not a restaurant, but you have some tables to eat, or you can take them
it's
to
like
go.
a terrace.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. And in this, you can try them with a lot of different flavors. So from blueberry to chocolate to even coconut they have, and lemon and whatever. So it's kind of varieties of this original Slovenian dish.
I'm really getting hungry. You're describing it so delicious.
Yeah,
okay.
they are really delicious. So, but because it's also in a city center and it's like very close to the market, which I think a lot of people go visit it. I really recommend it to stop there to have one, for a snack or something. So that's really good. And there's one more thing, from March till October, usually, or is it, March till October, every Friday. Okay, except nowadays, that it's a little bit, dodgy. There's this thing on the market called Open Kitchen, and it's going through the whole day on every Friday from March to October. But I don't know, it's in the middle of March to middle of October, something like that. Open Kitchen, we say Otprta kuchna, and there are stands with different restaurants, and they all, they have two dishes, and you can order from them, like you have Indian cuisine, Slovenian cuisine, steaks, vegetarian, anything.
All the range, yeah.
And we usually go there to hang out, grab a bite to eat, and you can always, you have so many things to choose from that you usually, first you need 15 minutes to even choose what will you eat. Yeah. So I would definitely recommend, if somebody's here on Friday and it's summertime or spring, Open Kitchen, go there. There's usually also some music, and a lot of people there, and you can meet some people even. So
that's great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There are some bars like Petkošek, Premier, Fanny Mary, and Lokal, which are all together on this part just before the Dragon Bridge, really close to the Dragon Bridge. And in summertime, they're always full with people just sitting there having a beer. They have great selection of beers, usually also some, things to eat, like fast food, like French fries, burgers and stuff. But I like hanging there in summer. Also, there's this wine bar that I would definitely recommend. It's really good. I would say on the top of my list of, and it's also a good date spot again.
You have lots of places there.
Yeah.
Interested for date.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's called Wine Bar Šuklje, with the S, with this, apostrophe. Šuklje Wine Bar, and they have really wide selection of wines, Slovenian wines, a lot of them, and even foreign wines. So if somebody is a wine lover in Ljubljana, this is the place to go. And sometimes they have really cozy atmosphere there. Sometimes even there's some live music, which is really nice.
That's
also
great. Wine and live music.
Yeah,
and
that's
having
really
a
nice.
date.
Yeah, and that's a date. Yeah.
What would you recommend to do in your country?
There was this thing that popped up first, and it's definitely hiking. There are so many places to hike in Slovenia that you can never get tired of it. I had a friend from Japan that was studying here, and she wanted to go to all the hills, and in half a year she was every week 3 or 4 times up, hiking, and she didn't go through all of them.
Wow.
So really,
but you said your country is small, the territory of the country.
It's really small, but we have like a lot of hills, a lot of mountains. So as I said, you can go hiking if you're a hardcore mountaineer, like going to the 2,000 and more meters, or you can just hike on smaller hills. So there's a lot of places to hike, a lot of and usually there where you go hiking, there is beautiful nature, beautiful views. and hiking is the place to do in Slovenia. So if you go to Slovenia and just visit, you know, the normal attractions, you know, you visited them, but if you want some more active vacation, go hiking. That's the best, one of the best things to do.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, I recommend to rent a car.
Okay, of course.
Yeah. Ljubljana is a really good starting point because it's actually in the center of Slovenia, and I think you can come to any part, even the most remote part of Slovenia, in maximum 2 hours of driving, maximum. So anywhere you go, if you start from Ljubljana, you don't have to worry about, I don't know, staying overnight or something. You just can go there and come back in the evening. You know, if you rent a car, I think Slovenians are okay drivers. You know, sometimes they're a little bit nervous.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and the next question, what wouldn't you recommend to do in the country?
Going swimming in the sea. Why? Because our coastline is very beautiful. If you go, for example, with a bike, there are like really good routes.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, if you go to Slovenia to go to the seaside, I don't know, our sea it's not so beautiful. And if you go 1 hour driving to Croatia, you can find much more beautiful places to, you know, spend your vacation on the seaside.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say seaside region in Slovenia is more like for scenery, for biking, for walks, hiking. You know, it's really beautiful. I wouldn't say, but only, for example, if you bike and then you just want to cool off in the sea. But I don't like Slovenian sea. It's better to swim, for example, in Bohinj Lake or in some of the rivers. They actually appear more. They actually appear cleaner than the sea. So the sea, it's. I wouldn't say you missed something if you didn't swim in Slovenia. So.
Okay. How will you say in your language thank you, спасибо in Russian?
Hvala.
Wow, oh, it's like in Serbia. Wow.
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah, it's the same. Yeah.
So, what is the official language of Slovenia?
It's Slovenian.
Slovenian.
But
It is,
but we actually have a lot of similarities with the Serbian and Croatian language. Those two languages are kind of really similar. And then there's Macedonian language, and I would say Macedonian language is as similar to Serbian as ours, but in different contexts. So, yeah, so I would say Slovenians, we actually understand a lot from Croatians and Serbians, but we understand Macedonians less, I would say. I would say I understand, let's say, I don't know, when I was in Ukraine, I understood it more than Macedonian, but Croatian and Serbian are really similar, but Slovenian is the language itself. Oh, may I just add, there's like this really specific thing in our language that we use dual, like it's a form for two persons. Yeah. So you have singular and plural. Yeah. Okay. Usually. Yeah. You have for one person and for more. Yeah. Singular and plural. But we also have forms for two people. So I think there's only two. Yeah. There's only two languages in the world that have these forms, and this is a speciality of Slovenian.
And this number is called, so we have singular number, we have plural, and we have dual in Slovenian.
Yep.
Wow, it's really interesting. I didn't know that. So how will you say please? Пожалуйста. Просим.
Просим. Yes.
Просим. In Russian we also have the word просим, but it means we ask you for something.
Yeah, it's also it can also be, so it's prosim can be used as can you please do me a favor, but you can also use it like when I don't know, you order, I don't know, coffee.
For example, how would you say it in could I have a cup of coffee please?
Eno kavo prosim.
Prosim. Also in the end, you added in the end. Okay, thank you. Where is? How would you say it in Slovenian? Where is, for example, the city center?
Kje je center?
Kje je?
Kje je? Yeah. Kieje, and then you add something. Kieje, Dragon Bridge, Zmajski most. Kijevice.
Yeah.
Usually you can use that. It can be helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so, and the last question. Why should tourists visit your country?
All right.
Like
so,
conclusion, summary.
Yeah, conclusion of everything. I think tourists should visit Slovenia. First thing, because we have such a beautiful nature, which I don't think a lot of foreign people know about, this hidden gem. So if you're a nature lover, come here, definitely. There are kind people here, and a lot of them speak English, so you wouldn't have any problems with communicating.
Okay.
So kind people, nature, and also, as I mentioned before, it's really small, but you can find so many diverse regions, things to do because of it, in a small place that you don't really have to drive a lot. And so you can actually spend, you can actually save time here to do all the things that you ever wanted to do. So yeah, I would say this is
that is great.
Yeah.
Okay, so Clemen, thank you very much for such detailed and interesting information. Actually, today I personally have known a lot about your country, and I personally like very much travel in this region, like Balkan region. And now I think I have a new point in my route to visit.
You definitely should. Thank you for having me, Lena. So I was happy to help and happy to answer the questions, and I hope this makes some more people to maybe consider visiting our country. So
of course, for sure.